Welcome to my world of spiritual hair. Let me show you something beautiful.
You know, my model, Tiffany here, I picked her for a big reason. She has quality to compete in levels that I would want to take her into the national levels and maybe world championship and then hopefully the Olympics. But her bone structure is she's not very petite. I didn't want somebody very petite because her hair can create a lot of petiteness for me. It can create a lot of softness. So I'm going to use her face and her bone structure and her muscles, the way I look at her, as my canvas of sharp lines. She got very sharp frame, real medium kind of bone frame in the face, the jaws, her nose. So my hair is going to be the softening part. Now, she's a beautiful person, but as the levels I want to get into, I want to see my hair become the softness of her jawline, the softness of her neck. Because remember, the judges are judging the art of hair, not the art of the person. Yes, it's important to have a beautiful model, but I want my work to speak for the model, not the model to speak for my work. But I want the model to be able to walk my art piece. That's the key. So as I work with her, I already created my shape because I already found out her shape of her head. I used my hands, I combed it, and seen her resistant parts of her head and where's the weakest, and how can I make it, this design that I have in my mind, create a winner. So I look at her neck, I look at her shoulders. It's beautiful. She got great layout. Her skin's perfect. Got really light, flawless skin. That's beautiful to me. I create a very soft flower there to me when I look at it. You know, I can have it long. As you see, I got like 7-8 inches. I can create so many different looks behind that back and make her shoulders and her neck look real soft. As you see me razoring, I'm using the flat razor, I'm using the straight razor, I'm creating the shape that I see keep coming on. You know, and you have options, you have a jawline, you have her cheek, and you have her neck. So I try to find the most striking part of that body structure there. As I create my harmony, I move towards the side of the face, and then, you know, I have the options of the cheekbone, the jawline, and the neck muscles, and try to create what will create the softest part for me as I'm creating this design. As I created my outline, you see I left longer pieces, 3 longer pieces. I always like I always like in threes. So I created these 3 pieces that are going to harmonize the whole design. Once I blow out the design and create it and place my color, when I lay those 3 pieces, they're going to be the execution point of the whole design. In 3 directions, the judges come in 3 directions, so I want them to draw to my model. And that's how I create this piece of work. Then on the side, when I work with the side, she got a really strong jawline, and I like that strongness, but it's a little too strong for what I would put her in because I like to do high fashion. So high fashion to me is more very pretty work, very classy, clean work, but has a little buoyance to it. So when I create my edges on that, my line would hit that area in between the 1/4 inch or 2 inches from the face, from the outline, and I will create my other, I call it my other jawline, that harmonizes her, that will snug into her face, where it will just create a piece of, like an art frame, I would call, like a frame of the art. So as I cut my side, you see me, it's all razor, everything, because I want it really soft, so I'm breaking it up with the notching razor, and I'm just going along, moving the hair, until I see what I like. And then as the time I'm doing it, I'm removing my weight, I'm not taking my length, but I'm creating a really pretty soft area. And that's key for me. And once I get to the point where I'm happy, I feel it in here, I stop. And once I stop with that, then I'll go a little to the front. Now I'm looking at the eye. Now I can feel it finishing. I get to the other side and create a longer shape. And you see I'm doing the same thing. I'm razoring it and removing the weight and moving it with my hands while it's wet and see where it's gonna lay for me. And then I take 3 individual areas of the head, which are my focal points. It's the top of the head, is your crown. That's the longest, but you see hairs are about 10 inches longer than the rest. And then right center of the neck, if you lift the neck down, there's a bone sticks out, it's a mastoid occipital bone that sticks out. That's the longest piece because when she lifts her head up, the indentation goes under and looks deeper. The density does, which works a lot with dimension because I want when an artist comes out to see dimension in my work, because that's where I start doing my color placements. And then on the other side, on the right side of the head, there's another piece that goes right around her face, or I can bring it in her front of her face. But wherever that piece lands, there will be a symmetrical balance to it. So the eye becomes harmony to it. I don't want anything in my work where something's not balanced. As I cut the side of the face, you know, her jaws, the length, I don't want anything looking round. I want something looking a little metrical, just an offset. And when I offset it, I know that I need to open the front, but I don't need 2 designs that are even, so I'm gonna sort of like take one up and take one down, but reminding myself when I place my color what execution I'm gonna get. On the other side, I keep it a little long because I want to take the attraction off the nose, so when you look at it, there's nothing even that shows it that will make any of the bones stronger or any of her nose stronger, her jaw stronger. It would just harmonize it and blends in with the face. It makes it look petite. That's the key of the art for me. The right side of the face, and there I start creating more of a metrical design. Because I know both sides of her face, I already overlooked everything, her whole position of her face and the way her bone structure is. This other side, I create all my harmony needs to move to that direction. So all my work's gonna go from right to left, all the way around. As I go into the eye area, that's why I want to make my excitement. I want to make my excitement be like, dude, look at the eyes, this is great, this looks really cool. Now she got big eyes, I love her eyes, so I'm going to offset her bangs to give it more of a jazzier European bang. Europeans always have the real short bangs, and I think that's really cool. A lot of people can't wear it, but you know, in this case, she can wear it, and she can walk it because I know I'm going to put nice eyebrows. Her eyes are bigger, so I'm going to make her eyes even bigger. So as I create, and again, her forehead's pretty, she's got a beautiful little forehead, so I just take enough to make the eyeball, her eyes go, wow, look at that. First thing you see her eyes, then you see her nose. And that's done. I come back and blend everything together then. Now I want to make sure everything is formed, shaped, perfectly even, the whole outline first. Blow drying is so much fun too, understanding tools and your density of your blow dryer and your nozzle. Nozzle to me is key. You have to have a nozzle. As you see me blow drying, and I'll do a lot with freestyle, and I'm looking at the shape as it moves, as it starts to shape up. You know, once you get a nice design, it's so easy because you create it and you know where it moves. You know, once you get a nice design, it's so easy because you create it and you know where it moves. So you just start harmonizing and playing with brushes and combs and gels and sprays, flat irons, crimping irons, brushes, round brushes, flat brushes. You can create all different shapes with color. We know that, that's what we do all day. That's the thing with my work. You can put anything and come up with something cool. And even the model can go home and do it. That's the key. Just look at my finished work and get the idea and create it at home. It's simple. Create it on your clients. You can take the same haircut and do it to somebody day by day wear. I'm just taking it to a little different level because this haircut I do at the salon, not as severe, but if they want it, I'm on it.
Magic of the Warlord design just happened now. See the form, see the shape, see the excitement, see the harmony and the passion and the spiritual being. I just created a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spiritual person that she been wanting a new look. I gave her a real hot European look, you know, sassy, elegant, sharp, you know. We're playing with blow drying and styling. Check it out.
Already a different designs by the gels and spray. Just look at what I did with 3 different fashion looks. Just want to show you simple, easy, fashion, beautiful work. Who wouldn't want it? You know, but if I want to dress it for night wear, or progressive, or a party, Just a gels product. That's all it does. You can completely change it. So as this young lady is so gorgeous, but I know I have to bring out, she's light skinned, she's blonde, I have to bring out life from her, fun and harmony and exciting out of her. And that's when the placement of color comes in. Because I know my design, when I cut it, it's going to be there. How do I harmonize with color? Now you're going to get color lines around the world, you know. So my color lines, prestige color lines, Inner Fashion designs my color, and it's totally to the book, man. It works. It conditions the hair instead of breaks the cuticle. It does what I need. And I place about 10 different colors in the hair. And I play around with the colors, and I'll play around with the colors, and sometimes I'll wash the color with the color instead of washing one color at a time. I have purples, and I have violets, and I have warms, and I have reds, and I have blondes, and I have golden blondes, and I have, and it's so, but everything I do has a position to do to execute the other color. So when you see it, it harmonizes together like one beautiful color wheel. You know, we could talk about color placement, but just use what I've done as a base for yourself. Every area has a different color, and every area has a different strength of peroxide. Some is 30, some is 40, some is 20, some is 10. I'm lifting, I'm depositing, I'm high lifting. So it's just my judgment call on my texture of my hair. You can do the same thing. You can create it. If you got knowledge enough to know what your color your hair can take as color, you're in the game. So this is what I'm doing. If it works, if it doesn't work, I'll rechange it. But at least I have my fillers in already, so it just makes the color more richer and richer. My idea about our color is to create the most translucent color that I possibly can. With my line Prestige, I create it every single time. Inter Fashion USA. I create the density because there's no ammonia in my color. It just brings out my luster of my color. So just look at my pattern and just use your judgment, and use half my pattern. You can create any kind of pattern, but as long as you finish with harmony. That's and that's from experience. I mean, I didn't learn this. It took me years to learn this, and that's why we always learn something every day of what we do. Well, with this young lady, her head shape's very, very nice. Okay, so we got makeup, we got accessories to make people even beautiful with eyelashes, makeup, airbrush makeup, but there's so many different forms and shapes of jewelry, clothing, so you can create a whole package. Well, I feel this design, when I'm complete done with the color, will fit the part that I'm looking for. There's all kind of things that goes into it through experience. I didn't do that at the beginning, but I learned through the past of the great designers I've met that that's what they did, so I did the same thing. Well, I sort of followed it, and then I created my own theory behind that. As I create all those lines, I'm imagining when I'm done how it's going to look. And of course, consider the makeup, consider the eyebrows, consider the whole package. As I do my art, my package is done. I'm just trying to get to that finished look. I'm Carlos. I'm going to tell you how I got involved with hair and what inspired me when I got involved with this thing about hair back in 1984. I was a military guy. Making a long story short, somebody was going to beauty school and I walked into beauty school with her. And the instructor said, here's a scissor, go in the room, because he thought I was a student. And I just played along, and everybody was watching me do hair, and then things just started happening, and I felt really worthy about something, worthy of people like this. So to me, it was just cutting a rope. And I just had a nick for it, I had a passion. It was a spiritual passion at that. And from that day on, you know, I became one of us, and I really enjoyed and loved what I've done. I'm very happy I'm in this world. And the experience that I had from watching and learning from other great hairdressers, I think everybody's great because everybody's individual talent. There's so many, usually we're all artists, you know, we all do it for our passion or what we believe in. You know, I don't see any art better than anybody's art. It's just the way they create their own art. So I was a little character. I always wanted to be the extreme. I always ran the edge competitively. I got 10 years in competing, and I did really well. I won a lot, and I got humiliated a lot, but I was very humble at it and learning as I went along about everything and the skill of it and the techniques and the blow dryers and the nozzles. What was so important about this whole passion that we do, and how much heat can just break this little fiber down and create amazing shapes, you know, and I got so intrigued with that. So I got really into competing very for a lot of years, and just to give me a sharper eye, and I just got very high after just being participating in something so amazingly, and started winning at that game. And I did it for so long, and different altitudes, different waters, different rooms, how the temperatures and the pressures were. When I worked at it at home, it worked perfect. I take it in a different area, it didn't work. I didn't understand why. But then I became a mad scientist, and like I used to box, so when I used to fight, go high altitude, different kind of air and low. So it did everything to hair when I tried to create my art. Why didn't it finish in the time it was supposed to finish? So things like that, through experience, I learned and took it very well from other experience from other guys that have been in the industry for 20, 25, 30 years at the time. I was 22 years old, I'm in my mid-50s now. So learning from that, you know, I got a chance to compete in the World Championship by all the trials and tribulations I had to go through to understand what I was doing. And finally, you know, I did really well. I ended up being third in the world, took a silver and bronze medal in that world. But what made me win was the drive and the passion I had. First of all, America's never really done well in the World Championship, and I always heard Europeans are great. I've never been to Europe, I'm a country boy, but experienced that world of so much to be added into one little canvas of hair. It's just amazing to me. It's just a broad world. So I came very good at it, and I enjoyed every day because something new every day happens to me. Thank you so much. My name is Carlos.